All right, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to the Hub Podcast, a place where you can connect with the local GTA community and where you can meet real and regular folks with ideas and experiences to share. We're just regular people trying to make it bigger. My name is Ivan, and my co-host and question master is my good friend Ed. Have you ever been to a party and only known one person and felt like you just couldn't integrate into the group? And you just stand there sipping your drink like, it's a good party. Oh, haha, that's a nice wall over there. Or are you like Ed and hate it when everyone pairs off into little groups and you just can't seem to talk to anyone? Well, you want to learn how to fix this? Watch till the end.
All right, hey guys, it's Ed here. So remember from our first episode, I talked about my trick to like exponentially increase your social network. So in my 20s, I like to host house parties. And one of my rules was that I made sure all my guests bring at least one person that I don't know. And using this little rule and this trick, I was able to meet a lot more people than I think I otherwise would have if I just had invited the same people over and over and over again, right? So this is kind of a follow-up to that. I want to share some of the topics and the games that I've had success with, especially in a group setting. So last time in the first episode, I shared that cube game that I played with Ivan. That was an example of an icebreaker that I love to do in one-on-one situations. If you haven't checked that out, do yourself a favor and listen to that first. Link should pop up somewhere. But this episode will be more about what to do in group situations and to be memorable and above all to bring the group together. In my personal opinion, there's no greater feeling than knowing you made an impact on the party. I know that Ivan, for example, might not want to be the center of attention, but I'm hoping that even for people with his kind of personality, they can still find value in these games. So without further ado, let me introduce everybody that's here. So we're actually joined today by Jason. Jason, for those that don't know, we actually did an episode with him about real estate. You can also check that out. A link should pop up. And he's joined here with his lovely wife, Jessica. So Jason, Jessica, you want to say hi?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for having us back.
Hi guys, this is Jessica.
Yeah, this is just gonna be more of a fun episode. It won't be much of a lecture. It's just gonna be us playing games, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So to set up the scenario, right? So there were basically, I think, 15 of us. We were all sat in basically a circle, and none of us were really talking in a group. We were all kind of split off into little 3-person groups, and in my opinion, that kind of defeats the purpose of having a large group together. It's just my personal quirk, but I like bringing everybody together to talk about one thing, because if you go to a party and you're only talking to the same one or two people, then you might as well not go to a big gathering. Anyway, so how I started this was I turned to the group and I was like, yo, there's this question that I came up with in my 20s, and I'd love to hear everybody's opinion on it. And the question goes like this, okay? Imagine you have a best friend. For guys, it could be like your homie that you know for 20 years. For girls, it could be, your best girlfriend that you grew up with, whatever, right? And, unfortunately, God forbid this never happens, but your best friend is dying. They're diagnosed with some disease, let's say cancer, and they have exactly 30 days left to live. During that 30 days, you catch the love of their life, their fiance, their husband, their wife, whatever. You catch them cheating on them, and your poor best friend is sitting there dying on their deathbed, and here you are catching their loved one cheating on them. Do you tell them? So again, we're joined with Jason and Jessica, and yeah, they're kind of going to be like my guinea pigs tonight. I just want to ask you guys to play along.
Yeah, happy to do so. All right, so I guess I'll start this off. If my best friend was dying and the situation is he or she's got 30 days left to live, right? Okay. I personally would not tell them.
Okay.
And I guess my reason is I know this person is living out the last few weeks of their life. I don't want their last few weeks to be miserable or unhappy. I just want them to be as happy as possible.
Okay.
Jess?
Yeah. I have a pretty similar thought as Jason, but for me, for the last few weeks of my friend's life, I wanted to they have their loved one to stay with them. like at least the loved one could stay with them for this last few weeks. So like they have they have companion for that.
Okay, Ivan,
Yeah.
you want to chime in too?
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't tell my best friend either, in the sense that like I feel like that would just like completely destroy them, like mentally, because they're already dying. So like it's just like things are already bad enough as it is, and you tell them this, they're just like, hey, you know what? Why don't you just bring a gun in here and shoot me? You know, right?
Just end their misery.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't tell them.
Okay, so to summarize, I think all three of you said you would not tell your best friend,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's actually two more parts of this question, okay? So the second part is this. What if your best friend was like a crypto millionaire? Or let's say even a billionaire, okay? Let's say they have more money than they know what to do with, okay? And you find out, has left all their fortune to their loved one. The loved one that you found out was cheating on them. Does that change your answer? Do you tell them now?
I think that's a great plot twist. Wow. Okay, I still need to think about this.
I mean, I could go while you think about it.
Okay, go, Ivan.
So I think last time when I had this question, I also said no. I'm thinking about it this time, and even though there's the money in the question, like I think I still wouldn't tell them, but I would like subtly encourage them to like spend their money on like really dumb things, so that like they use all their money.
They're lying there in the hospital bed. They can't move, you know?
Right,
They're going through
right.
like chemotherapy or some shit, you know?
But then I can be like, hey, you know what? Like you're going out, like how about you start like a charity foundation for a cause, like so no one has to suffer this disease you have, you know? Why don't you give, like, I don't know, something like that. I'll try to convince them. Like I still feel like I wouldn't tell them no. Like I mean, I still wouldn't tell them that like their loved one is cheating on them, because I think it's still very like distressing
but they might be like, well, yeah, like I hear you, Ivan, that's a good charitable cause, but you know, as you know, I've left all my fortune to my wife or whatever, and she's gonna figure out what to do with it. What do you think? Change your answer?
I don't know.
No or yes?
I don't know.
All right. No worries. Okay. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm pretty ready to chime in on this one.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm telling my best friend. It's odd. Yeah. I still wouldn't like to be the one to bear the bad news, and you know he or she will be very upset.
Yeah.
But I don't want this person to get away with something, and also to pocket, I don't know, millions or billions of dollars, and they weren't faithful to my best friend.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Jason for this one.
Yeah.
So my point of view is like, if I were my best friend, like I'm the one like who's gonna die, I wish my best friend told me about like, oh, you're not gonna to give all your money to that person who cheated on you.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would love my best friend to tell me, so I would tell my best friend.
Okay. So again, to summarize, Ivan would still not change his mind, but he would try to subtly encourage the friend to change their mind.
I don't know. I think the thing is though, it's like if they die in their minds happy, then in their minds their story ended happily.
Okay.
You know,
$1 billion though.
But it's not my $1 billion, right?
Right.
It could be. It could be.
Okay, but so for Jason, the money changes everything.
Yes, even though it has nothing to do with me, and it's not like I'm expecting, oh great, the transfer of money goes to me now. It has nothing to do with that. It just matters that this person kind of breaks a moral code that I personally have, and therefore I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure they don't get it.
But let me remind you, the first part of the question, you would not tell your friend.
Yes, correct. No, it's yep. Money changes everything.
Money changes everything. Yep. Okay. And okay, so actually Jessica's answer kind of does segue into my part 3. So the part 3 is the roles are reversed. Now you are the friend who's dying of cancer. Now you have 30 days left to live. And your best friend is the one that caught your wife, your husband, your love of your life cheating. Do you want your best friend to tell you? All right, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first for this
Yeah.
one. I'll go first for this one because, like, just as my answer in the second question,
Yeah.
so I'm standing like the point of view of my friends.
Yeah.
I would love them to tell me because, like, I don't want this person to get like benefit from me. Like,
Yeah.
like when this person already cheated on me.
She keeps pointing at me, by the way.
Don't play this with your significant other. Don't play this with your significant other. Okay, but okay, just before I get everybody else's take, but like just so again to recap, you at first didn't want to tell your friend,
Yes.
but then when the money became an issue, you suddenly want to tell your friend, and now you're saying that if you're the person who's sick on the deathbed, you would want to know, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, Jason, Ivan, who wants to go?
All right, I guess I'll go, since Jess kept pointing at me. I'm with her on this one for sure. If my significant other, if Jess or hypothetically whatever, was cheating on me and I'm the billionaire or whatnot, and I've left everything to this person, yeah, I would want to know, because I would probably make changes. I believe I would make changes at least. Yeah, so I would want them to tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think about, like, because I think for the previous time I answered this, I was like no for all three of them. And I'm trying to think about, like, okay, yes, but then, like, if I'm trying to think like if it was a yes for myself, right? What would that change? I'm still dying, right? In the sense of like yes, they're gonna get the money, but it's like I can't take it with me anyways.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I die not knowing what happened, then in my mind it is only like the positive things that I'd ever remember, right? And if I did know, I would probably still be like, well, they tricked me for X amount of years. 30 more days, forget about it. You know, like in a way, in my mind, I think like if they would do something like this, at some point in time, it'll catch up to them anyways. So I would rather just let it happen.
But it'll catch up to them with your $1 billion.
Well, okay, so guys, I actually want to like say though, like, for all, the so-called phrase "ignorance is bliss," right? Your friend or you wouldn't know any better if you or your friend didn't know that they were being cheated on. What difference does it make, right? See, what I find interesting is that all of you guys said at the beginning, you guys would spare your best friend's feelings, right? The money shouldn't change that, because in their head, they're still giving their money to the love of their life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether or not they cheated is the same between scenario 1 and scenario 2. Right? So it's almost like your inability to accept that a cheater is getting rewarded that's stopping you guys, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
unfortunately, yes.
I
yes.
think that's like the moral trap, because it's like this person's doing something bad, so like we shouldn't reward them.
Yeah. Well, okay, so when I've asked a bunch of other people, what I found interesting was that most people assume that what they would want for themselves is what their friend would want, right? So generally speaking, for those of my friends who said that they would want to know, they were more inclined to also tell their friends that their loved one was cheating on them. And then the money thing is just a fun thing, right? Because it's kind of a twist, and usually people do change their answer.
Yeah.
But I find that like you're not really thinking about your friend, right? You're more like thinking about yourself at that point. Yeah. What do you guys think?
No, I agree, and I'm just a shitty person, I guess. But it does change things in my mind. But it does make me kind of reflect, and it's like, you know what? Maybe even if the money factor wasn't a thing, perhaps I should still tell my best friend, because I owe it to them for being their best friend.
Yeah.
To giving them the truth.
See, so in my opinion, if you tell them after you know that they're leaving all their life fortune to this loved one, you should have told them in the first scenario as well.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just a shitty person and very wishy-washy. So yeah.
Jess, how does this feel knowing that this is the guy you married?
I still got my ring on. Don't worry.
That's all that matters for women. The sparkly.
So after hearing you say Ed, I feel like the first question, I'm more about my friend's feeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want her to be happy.
Exactly.
But like the second and then the third question, I wasn't like thinking about their feelings.
Exactly.
I'm only thinking about, oh, I don't want that person like who cheated on my best friend like to get any reward, like you said. So I feel like her feeling isn't like in my consideration anymore. So I feel like kind of like distract me from like considering my friends. That's really cool question.
So she's also a terrible person. So we're married and we're good. All right.
That's why we were married, I guess.
Exactly. You guys have the same values. Your values are aligned. No, but see, I think I first became interested in these types of things when I learned about the prisoner's dilemma. So like the prisoner's dilemma, I think it's like this old economics thing, right? Where like there were games played where like for example, if you were given a chance to keep $1 million, but you're asked to give somebody that you've never met before, but you're allowed to talk to them on the phone. Like there's a mysterious person on the other end of a phone, and you have to offer them a certain amount of money, and if they accept, you get to keep like your million. So like for example, if you offer them $1 and they accept, you get to keep 999 or 999,900, right? But if they reject, neither of you get anything. Right? And like it reminds me of that, because like apparently if the other person knows that you're being offered $1 million, it becomes very tricky. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you offer them something that's in their mind that's not fair, they would rather reject just so you get fucked out of the money. And I love that question when I learned about that, right? So even if it becomes like less money, like let's say $100, and I can't remember what I learned, but apparently if you offer them anything less than like 40%, most people would decline. Because they know that you're getting 60%, right? But see, think about it. For $1 million, even if you got $400,000 or $300 or $200 or $100,000, you should just say yes. But because they know the other guy's getting 900, they'd be like, no, fuck it. I don't want that guy to win.
So I actually think this is very interesting, because there was a book that I read maybe about a year or two ago by Chris Voss, and he's the author of Never Split the Difference. I believe he was like the head negotiator for either terrorist attacks or something like military related. So he's very famous. If you search Never Split the Difference, he's all over like Audible, Amazon. That book is very popular. And he actually had an exercise in a class that he took, and this was kind of the situation where it's like, hey, you have X amount and you have to convince your partner and negotiate that they accept whatever you offer to them. And he basically 10 out of 10 times was able to negotiate that the person took the least amount of money and he walked away with
That's
majority.
amazing.
And I forgot exactly how he did it, but it was like getting through to the other person that, hey, you can F us both out of this, or you can just take the money and go, because it's either you take it or you don't. And even $10 is more than $0 is how he was explaining it. But he's the professional. But it was really cool, because this is exactly what he went through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but like I find it interesting how like like human behavior, like we'd rather punish the immoral, above any other consideration. Like we all have this very strong sense of justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So okay. Anyway, that's just one example of a group game that I love playing. I've found a lot of success with it over the years. So there's another question that I really like. Okay, it's called the 5-question game. I think Jason, Jessica, neither of you have heard it, but the problem with this is I can't play it again. So one of you have to volunteer.
Yeah, it's not repeatable. I've heard it, so I know what it is.
So who would like to go?
I'm going to check in with the boss. Boss?
I agree. You could go. You can go.
All right, I'll play.
Okay, so the way to set up this game is kind of like it's kind of like one of those bar games, right? So like you can bet with your friend, like, hey, if you lose this game, you owe me a beer. If you win, then I'll buy you a beer. Okay, so basically it's a very simple premise. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions.
Okay.
And you have to give me the wrong answer or a wrong answer.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll play an example one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What color is the sky?
Yellow.
Okay, good. Okay, so what's your name?
David.
Okay. What city were you born?
Hong Kong.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Okay. Remind me what question we're on again?
1.
You played this game before, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. Wow. You're probably one of like 10% of people who actually managed to win this, right?
Wow.
Normally, okay, very good. So normally the fourth question, where I pretend to not remember what question we're on, most of the time that gets people, and they're like, okay, we're on question 4. But if they do realize that I'm trying to trick them, I immediately go, oh, you played this game before, right? And then they say, no, I definitely haven't, right? And they're all proud that they tried to trick me. So yeah, no, good on you, Jason. I mean, I almost feel like you have played this before, but okay.
If we're done the game, no, I haven't. This is the first time.
Okay.
I actually got gotcha'd by the last question.
Exactly. So when I tried it on Ivan, yeah, he was like, "Oh, we're on question 52," and then I'm like, "Oh my god, you played this game before, haven't you?" He's like, "No, I swear I haven't." I'm like, "Oh, fuck that, right?" So normally this question works, like, and like it's really fun to do this in front of people too. Because like even though they're not participating, they can be like, "Oh shit, they fell for it," and all that stuff. So yeah.
No, that's really neat. I'm just a liar.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Very nice. Okay. So there's another game. So this is a game that I learned on YouTube. It's basically like I'm gonna give you a sequence of numbers, and you're allowed to give me your own sequence of numbers. But what you're trying to do is to figure out the rule. Okay, so for example, if I say 2, 4, 6, you could say 8, 10, 12 to get more information. Okay, and then eventually when you think you've got it, you can tell me the rule, right? So in this case, what do you think the rule is?
Like +2.
Exactly,
Okay.
right? Okay, so the sequence now is 3, 6, 9.
Okay. 12, 15, 18.
Yeah, that does fit the rule.
Okay, so now that I've asked that, I need to guess what the rule is.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's +3.
It is not. That is not the rule.
Okay. 3, 6, 9. Ooh, that's tough.
Guys, anybody can chime in. I think Ivan already knows this.
I already know this one,
but
so I'm not gonna chime in.
Please help Jason.
Yeah, I'll like think out loud. Okay, so it's 3, 6, 9, which is the rule, and then I said 12, 15, 18, which also fits the rule.
It also fits the
and
rule.
I said the rule was +3, which is
Exactly,
wrong.
But that is not the rule.
Okay, could it be the multiples of 3?
Be more specific.
I'm not sure how to be more
Yeah.
specific.
Okay. Well, no. That's also not the rule.
Okay.
Okay.
So you mean like there's 2 rules
No.
for this?
I have a rule in my mind, and your job is to give me 3 sequences of numbers to try to determine the rule.
Okay, so 2, 4, 6.
2, 4, 6 fits my rule as well.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3 fits my rule.
Is the rule the number plus the first number?
That is not my rule.
Wow, that's actually really
Remember,
interesting.
you did 12, 15, 18 if it was the rule of the first number plus the number.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
Remember, you have a lifeline sitting right next to you.
Boss.
Wow, I'm really bad at numbers, and I'm trying my best. Let me think.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you a hint. This is definitely not a math thing. Don't worry, you don't have to be good at math to figure this out.
Patterns.
1, 25, 26.
That does fit the rule.
Is the rule the next number just has to be larger?
Yes, that is the rule.
Awesome.
Okay, so I think this is an example of like a lateral thinking puzzle, right? So what most people tend to do is they keep trying to give me numbers that they think fits the rule. But really what you should be trying to do is give me numbers that you think don't fit the rule.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Okay,
So for example, I think Ivan very quickly was like, what if I do 10, 5, 1? And then I said, no, that does not fit the rule. And then he instantly got it. He goes, oh, okay, well, then the numbers just have to be ascending. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, that's the rule, right? So most people get into this trap of, they think they know the rule, so they just keep saying the same thing over and over and over.
It's the confirmation bias.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's where my thinking was for the 125, 26.
Exactly.
Because it was like, let's break whatever rule I thought.
Yeah, no,
okay.
very good, very good.
Cool.
Well done, Jason. Okay, so yeah, so far you've done very well on the last two questions.
Okay.
I think my last question is probably like the weakest one, but
We'll try
whatever.
It
I'll share it anyway. Ivan, do you want to try this one?
Sure. I don't even know what this one is.
Okay, so I can't even give this game a name because the name kind of gives it away. Yeah.
So I have no idea what this is.
Okay. I'm gonna just give you 3 very rapid fire questions, and then I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what's 5 times 10?
50.
Okay, good. What's 100 minus 1?
99.
Okay, good. Name the first odd number that comes to your head.
3.
Okay, now think of a color and a tool. Go.
Yellow hammer.
Damn. Okay, you're supposed to say red hammer.
Why is it a red hammer?
I don't know why, but apparently like 99% of people think red hammer. For those of you listening,
interesting.
Be honest. Write in the comments what you thought of, because apparently 99% of people go red hammer.
I also thought yellow, but I said rod. which makes no sense.
Very phallic, Jason.
Maybe because it's like a simple, like a short
Did
word.
Jessica think red hammer by any chance?
I think about red, but I didn't think about the tool. Yeah, but I did think about red.
Okay, so Jason thought red rod.
Yellow rod.
Yellow rod.
That's what they call me.
We had a red and a
these
hammer
guys are all
here.
Asian, so that might be why they thought of yellow. Fucking
No,
Asian.
honestly, all the hammers I have a yellow handle. So that's why I was like, yellow hammer.
Okay. Well, okay, so I guess this game's kind of cool. Like if you kind of like tell everybody else that like, hey, they're gonna say red hammer, and then yeah, you know.
Why is that?
Anyway,
is
didn't
like
work.
Is there like a reason for that?
I don't know the reason behind it, but when I learned of this game, like literally 10 out of 12 people all said red hammer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because like red is the shortest like word, and we've
I have
been
no idea.
we've been thinking of numbers, right?
I have no idea how this works.
I don't know.
But when I first got this, and like they had like a card written, and they're like red hammer. I'm like, whoa, shit! How do you know I was gonna say red hammer? It like blew my mind. But yeah.
That's actually really interesting. There's I think there's a similar thing for numbers as well as vegetables. If you guys wanted to give it a quick shot.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I guess I'll have Ivan do one, and have Ed do one. So for Ed,
Okay.
could you name a number from 1 to 10?
Okay, 2.
Interesting. So most people usually just go with 7.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So that already didn't work, but usually majority of people do say 7.
I would've
know
said
about
2.
That's why I said 2.
Gotcha.
Because I know most people say 7. Yeah.
Okay. Now for Ivan, the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Uh-huh.
Could you name one vegetable?
Broccoli.
Okay. Also not the one that I guess these might not be working well, but
What was this supposed to be?
carrot.
Carrot.
Okay.
I did think cucumber at first.
Usually, I don't know why, but the mind usually goes to carrot when people hear the number 1.
Yeah.
And then for vegetable.
Yeah.
I don't know the full reasoning behind it, but it's
Interesting.
just something that I've followed
Interesting.
before.
Maybe it might just be like the shape of the vegetable. It's like a 1. Maybe. I don't know. But like broccoli is like the vegetable I have all the time. So maybe people eat a lot of carrots.
So okay, in Jason's defense, I was thinking carrot.
Oh.
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
Okay.
all right.
Okay. Do you eat a lot of carrots?
No.
Oh. Huh.
No, it was just the first vegetable that came to my mind.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
I want to start programming like the subconscious programming. It's like hammers and carrots and red. Very interesting.
Yeah, but no, like guys, like there's honestly like so many like different party games that I really like. But hold on, how long have we been talking, guys?
Been about 30
Yeah,
minutes.
we're about 30 minutes. All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, we can probably end it here.
Yeah.
If you guys like these games, I guess let me know. There's many more that I've like tried to accumulate over the years.
You guys should try it out IRL in the real world. Let
Yeah.
us know how it goes in the comment section. Share it to a friend who maybe has he needs some new party tricks.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, for those who haven't checked it out already, we actually did a podcast with Jason where he gives us insights on, how a 20-something living in the GTA who makes less than $100,000 a year was able to buy a property and get into the real estate market. So that was a really good episode. So yeah, thanks Jason and Jessica for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It was really fun.
Awesome.